Hi, it's Russell James, you're watching The Raw Chef TV. In this episode I'm going to show you how to make parsnip rice, because in a previous episode, if you remember, ever since I rolled that sushi and showed you how to do it, everyone's been like, how do you make that parsnip rice? So I thought we'd dedicate a whole episode to doing that with a few simple ingredients and a very quick technique. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. So the first thing we're going to need is parsnip, and as you can see here I've already prepared this parsnip, peeled it and chopped it into pretty much similar sized pieces. And if you haven't got parsnip or you don't want to use parsnip, you can also use cauliflower, which tends to pulse up in the food processor a little bit easier, or you can use jicama. And if you use jicama, I'm going to show you the food processor step in a minute, and this will make more sense. But if you use jicama, then you're going to want to put the jicama in a nut milk bag first and just strain off any excess kind of liquid. But if you're using parsnip, you can do it exactly like I'm going to do it here. So with that peeled, I usually just cut off that bottom piece, cut that into similar sized pieces. And then with the larger piece at the top, cut it in two first, or maybe even four if it's a larger parsnip. And then that's ready to go into the food processor. Okay, so into the food processor, we're going to put a couple of handfuls of your chosen vegetable. So that might be, as I said, parsnip, it might be jicama, you could use carrot, sweet potato, any of those root vegetables. I'm just going to give that a little pulse. Okay, then when it's broken down and is fairly rice-like, then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. But this is where I was talking about with the jicama. If you were using a watery vegetable like jicama, you would take this out, put it in a nut milk bag and just squeeze it through the nut milk bag, get all the liquid out and then put it back in. And then we'll just add a few of these pistachios. I like pistachios, but you could use pine nuts. Actually, I normally use pine nuts, but I wanted to use pistachios for this one because that's what we used in the rolling video. Just a few black sesame seeds, a little bit of your vinegar of choice or lemon juice. I'm using rice wine vinegar to keep this authentic. Just a touch of miso, gives it an extra flavour and doesn't change the colouring of the rice too much. And then a few good pinches, probably about half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so the only thing to watch out for at this stage, especially if you're using jicama, is that you don't over-process it and just turn it into mush. So again, if you're using one of those softer vegetables like jicama, you might want to just grind down the nuts separately and add them in just so you can do a light pulsing all in one. And that's pretty much it. Let's get it into a bowl. So we end up with this beautiful parsnip rice that's nice and sticky and will work in just the way you saw it in the sushi rolling episode. If you haven't seen that episode, then do check it out. And if you want full instructions on this, do check out the blog post where I've got everything in written form for you. I'll see you next time.